Hey everyone, my name is Literrius Miller, and this is the bi-weekly show for Abolish Vanderbilt, IFC, and Panhellenic Greek life. Today we're going to hear from team leaders of the movement about big reasons for the movement itself. We have Katherine Deegan, a senior who was formerly a Zeta Tau Alpha, and Taylor Thompson, also a senior who was a former Kappa Kappa Gamma. Thank you both so much for being here today. Katherine, why don't you start us off?
So basically, the Abolish Vandy, IFC, and Panhellenic movement started at the end of May. This movement just kind of came about because of the intersection of a lot of things. I think obviously George Floyd's murder was a huge factor. Obviously, that sparked things nationwide, and it woke a lot of people up. To issues of racial injustice and police brutality. And I had kind of heard about this like mass drop from Kappa and what had sparked it. And that definitely got the wheels turning in my mind about my own membership in my sorority and whether or not that really aligned with my values as someone who is very passionate about racial justice.
I originally got involved with this movement, I think, in part because of a lot of conversations that are taking place, not just within Greek organizations, but across our country about how we contribute to systems of oppression, whether that be white supremacy, the patriarchy, or how we contribute to a heteronormative space. I think that in the midst of so much change in America, and conversations about getting justice for people like Elijah McClain, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. It's important that we're critically examining the spaces that we're involved in and the values that they uphold. And while being a part of a sorority offered me a lot of great relationships with wonderful women, it also exposed me to some of the less favorable sides of Greek life. And I think that was what led me initially to drop.
The prospect of getting rid of this system really excited me. And so things just kind of started snowballing and a lot of people started dropping.
Once you're able to step back from that larger system, we start to have conversations about not just the internal harm. You see the larger impact of the system has on external parties, people who never asked to be a part of Greek life.
It made a lot of people question their participation in systems that are oppressive in some way, which IFC and Panhellenic Greek life are the perfect example of one of those kinds of systems. So yeah, and I think like COVID-19 was also a factor in why this movement started. So I think it was just kind of the perfect storm of circumstances. And even though those circumstances are obviously not ideal, they kind of turned out to be a critical moment for change, not only across the country, but on our campus as we're seeing through this movement.
One commonality that this group of people has is, we've critically examined the Greek system and the places where it harms people both inside of it and outside of it. And we've decided that, enough is enough. And so I think this is a critical time at Vanderbilt University where students are having these conversations, sometimes for the first time, and students are really engaging in them. And I think that, moving forward in the year, this is something that is going to continue to garner more support because at the basis of this, at the core of this, is about building a Vanderbilt that is more accepting and more caring of everyone. And I hope that more students can see that and get on board with what we're doing and start to focus our efforts into and pour into some of the other great initiatives on our campus.
I think really just the most important thing is that as soon as this movement got started, it just kind of built on its own. Once a group of students got together, it just kept adding on and on as, people told their friends and got each other excited about it. And like how Taylor was saying, engaged in conversations about it. And it kind of lit a fire under a lot of people to come to terms with the fact that they have been a part of something that was harmful and that doesn't align with their values and what they stand for. So.
Okay, thank you so much, Catherine. Yeah, it was really important to hear both of your perspectives on, your personal experiences with Greek life and how that sort of fell apart over time, and especially looking at contemporary issues, the current events that have led to the rise of the Abolish Greek Life movement. So that wraps up our show for this week. For more information, check out our Instagram page at Abolish Vandy IFC Panhellenic, or our website, Abolish Vandy IFC and Panhellenic.wordpress.com. To get in contact, you can DM us on Instagram or email us at abolishvandyifc and panhellenic@gmail.com. Thanks for watching and have a great week.